Hello, and thank you very much for joining us today. My name is Kasey Minnis. I'm the Director of Communications for the Multiple Sclerosis Foundation, and I'm joined today by Derek Lee, the Associate Director of Quality of Life Programs and Services. Today, we'll be talking about the topic, free programs for people with MS. We'll be going through all of the various programs offered by the Multiple Sclerosis Foundation, also known as MS Focus. And then after the presentation, we'll give you the opportunity to ask any questions you have about our programs or other services that you might be in need of. So let's get underway. So who is MS Focus? Well, MS Focus provides for the critical needs of people with MS. What do we mean by critical needs? Well, these are needs that fall into 5 areas: your health, sufficiency, which means your ability to pay for the things that you need to survive, your safety, your independence, and your knowledge or education. So how do we do that? Well, we do that by providing services directly to people with MS and their families throughout the United States and Puerto Rico. So now let's talk through a few of our key services. I'll give an overview and then we'll have an opportunity to discuss these in a little bit more detail with my colleague Derek. First, our assistive technology program. Assistive technology is any kind of device that assists with your daily activities. This could be anything from a cane to voice recognition software, to weighted spoons for people who have tremor and have difficulty holding the spoon. There's a wide variety of assistive technology out there that covers basically any aspect of your daily living. We'll talk a little bit more about that. We'll come back to that with Derek. We also offer a home care assistance program. This program provides short-term services. It's meant to fill the gap for people who are arranging for longer-term care or who only need short-term services. It can include caregiver respite. So for example, if your caregiver needs a day to themselves to take care of important business or really just for self-care. It can also, in some cases, cover therapy services, speech therapy, occupational therapy, and physical therapy that is administered at home. It also includes the Coming Home program for individuals who need assistance when they're checking out of the hospital, going home, getting their prescriptions, getting them set up with everything they need. It provides a one-time visit to help them get settled at home. Our cooling program is one of our most popular programs. You may be aware that people with MS are heat sensitive very often. Not all of you, I'm sure. But the vast majority do have symptoms that flare up when they become overheated. Cooling garments, like the one shown here, can really help you to continue to maintain your independence and an active lifestyle. Our cooling program is one of our cyclical programs. It only runs for part of the year, and we'll get a little bit more into what those dates and what the requirements for the program are. We offer a health and wellness grant. This grant provides exercise classes, adaptive sports programs, adaptive education programs. You see here a photograph of one of our programs actually in Puerto Rico. This is an MS aquatics class, but we offer everything from adapted yoga to horseback riding to there's even an adaptive bowling league. If there is a group in your area that's interested, we can look at setting up a group specifically for people with MS. Or if you live in a remote area where there's not sufficient interest, we do have the option to apply for an individual participation grant that allows you to work with a regular exercise facility in your area. Our Transportation Assistance Grant is another very popular grant. This grant will cover paratransit fees, minor car repairs, or now it's most frequently used to provide rides to neurologists and infusion centers with Uber or Lyft. So if a person is able to transfer and their assistive device is able to fit into a standard trunk, we can arrange Uber or Lyft. In other cases, in some cases, we may be able to arrange medical transportation, and even in some cities, Uber has wheelchair accessible vehicles. So there are a lot of options out there today, and our support service coordinators can work with you to figure out what's appropriate if you're having transportation issues. Our support group program assists more than 200 independent support groups across the United States. This program, the support groups are independent in that they are run by a local person with MS or a local caregiver, in some cases a local physician or social worker who really leads the group and is in charge of what kind of group it is. And our job, our function is to provide the support to help them make that group a success. So whatever type of group is appropriate for you and your community may be different than what is appropriate in another community. We don't try to dictate the terms of your group or what type of group it'll be. We're just there to help you provide support to the MS community. If there isn't a support group in your area, we'll even help you start one. Then we have educational events like this. Pre-pandemic, you can see that they were hosted around the United States and in Puerto Rico on a topic, a variety of topics. But right now we've switched to virtual programs. We have programs on a weekly basis, and I'll be happy after this initial presentation to demonstrate how you can sign up to make sure that you get the information about all of these programs. And that's not all. We have a healthcare assistance program, which can help to pay for neurologist visit and follow up for people who are uninsured. It can assist with dental care. We have our emergency financial assistance program, which covers rent, utilities, and in some cases assist with DMT copays, and even can help with disaster relief. Something to think about as for those of you in the Gulf states. Hopefully, we hope you're all staying safe, and those of you out west with the fires. But if you do find yourself in a position where you need help, you can give us a call to either apply for our emergency financial assistance program or be referred to other disaster relief organizations that can help you. We have our computer program, which can provide computers for people who don't have one and need one in order to connect to the variety of resources and support out there on the internet. Or if you have a computer that's obsolete and not working, we may be able to assist with that as well. And finally, our Brighter Tomorrow grant, which is a Make-A-Wish style grant that gives you the option to request something that isn't covered by our regular programs. So that's an overview of our programs. So now let's talk briefly about each of these programs and what kind of impact they make in the lives of people with MS. So let me go back and we'll walk through these with Derek, and we'll talk a little bit more about the various programs. Derrick, let's start while I back up here. Let's start with the Assistive Technology Program. Can you give us an example? First of all, let's unmute you.
Awesome.
There we go.
Awesome.
Can you give us an example of the kind of services that people use the Assistive Technology Program for?
Yes, of course. So it's so nice to be with you guys today. So the Assistive Technology Program, an example of that, a lot of times your insurance company would provide funding for maybe a power chair or a manual wheelchair. Something that the insurance company may not provide assistance for could be the ramp to either go in the front or back of your home or on your vehicle if you wanted to transport that equipment around so you can be mobile and maybe go to the store, be social, go to the mall. And so that's something you can apply with our assistive technology program. So as we start to go through all these programs, so I just wanted to say that all the programs are, the grants are available on our website, msfocus.org. If you go to the Get Help tab, and you'll see all of the grants that are available, and you can apply online. If you have a printer, you can print the applications out. It's a really simple application. Once you fill that application out, we need a confirmation of your MS diagnosis that you can fax over to us or even email to us at support@msfocus.org. But back to the AT program. Another example could be home modifications, right? So let's say that you wanted to maybe widen your bathroom doorways or your bedroom doorways. You can apply to the Assistive Technology Program to do that. And so what we would do is we would work with a contractor to go in there and try to see what it would cost. And sometimes you can find them fairly cheap, and then sometimes they might be a little bit more expensive. And so there are some local county funds that may be available to help you with different things like that. So each county, we serve the entire U.S. So we'll go to see what funding is available besides the funding that we provide, to see if there is some county funds available for you or even some state funds to help you complete your project.
And Derrick, what's the most common thing requested through the Assistive Technology Program?
Well, with MS, as depending on what stage of MS you have, one of the most common is a rollator walker. So we know about that traditional walker, but the invention of the rollator walker is the walker that has a seat. And so if you get fatigue, a rollator walker could be absolutely perfect for you. So as you're walking and you're using that walker, if you need to take a seat, that's where that walker comes in. So that's probably one of the most common requests that we get is a rollator walker.
Okay, now let's talk about the home care program. What do people need to know about home care?
Home care, one of our most popular programs that we have. When you need some help around the house, that's basically, you start there. There may be some daily living activities that you need some assistance with, whether that be, light housekeeping, maybe trying to do some errands. We contract with national service providers to provide home care. And we also try to look for more permanent solutions. So, our program is a temporary program. So we want to find out, do you have insurance? If you have insurance, are there some funds available that could be more long-term when you're dealing with home care? One of the other awesome things with our home care program is respite care, to help the caregiver. If the caregiver needs to get out and maybe run some errands, That's a really nice service that we provide to help out with the caregiver as well.
Absolutely. And how about the cooling program? Now, I mentioned that this is a cyclical program. Can you talk about the dates of the program?
Yeah. So the cooling program, we go from February 1st to June 1st. And people, they, why do you guys have that date range for the cooling program? It's really about starting early. If you wait until the summer or the hot months, you kind of fall behind when trying to get those items out there to the MS community. So we found that starting a little bit early gives us a little bit more. Uh, it works a lot better for us to get those items out to the community early.
We get them in people's hands before that
Be-
heat kicks in.
Before the heat kicks in. Yep. And
So people will want to be on the lookout for that application coming around in the January issue of MS Focus, or put something on your calendar to remind yourself that the application will be live on our website in February if you need help through the cooling program.
yep. Kasey, believe it or not, the cooling program, right after home care is one of our most popular programs, just because of the heat intolerance that some folks in the MS community go through. And so, I mean, every year we see just the massive numbers of people requesting cooling garments. And so, and there are different types of cooling vests. So, it's important to look and see what type of vest is going to work best for you. We have a full vest that, of course, provides a much more intense drop of your core body temperature. And then you have more active vests. So let's say if you ride your bike all the time, or if you go to games with your grandchildren or children, the active vest that fits up underneath your clothing might work for you as well.
Right. This is a really simple fix for a really big problem. We
Yeah.
know that heat intolerance can really activate some pretty serious symptoms, and this is a pretty easy way that people can fix it. And for people who are able to afford their own cooling garments, does the program provide referrals to them?
Oh, definitely. So we work with four really awesome vendors, and if you just mention the fact that you heard about the cooling program through MS Focus, they give discounts, which is really cool because the cooling garments can be sometimes expensive, but it's nice that the vendors provide some sort of relief to the MS community.
Terrific. Okay, let's overshot it. Let's talk about the health and wellness grant. What do people need to know about health and wellness?
Um, the health and wellness program was developed to help people that that don't have insurance, that still need to see or be on some sort of treatment plan with their neurologist.
Oh, I think
Um,
you may have misheard. I was talking about health and wellness, not healthcare assistance.
oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, health and wellness. Yes. So the health and wellness program is a wonderful program that provides uh, awesome programs dealing with maybe aqua therapy, which is so awesome to be able to get in the pool, whether you may need that pool to be a little warmer, so it's not so chilly when you get in there. Also, we have a really cool program with horseback riding, which is really cool as well. So that health and wellness program, we deal with yoga and Tai Chi and different things like that. So it's a really awesome program.
Any thoughts on why this is so important for people with MS to take advantage of?
Well, I mean, my thoughts is that it's important to deal with health and wellness as well as your traditional therapy, because it's of course you need your medications to make sure you stay on your treatment plan, but it's also nice to talk about wellness. What makes you feel better, and that's where our health and wellness program comes in, and it's so popular because I think it's really nice to have those therapies offered.
Yeah. It's true. Not only does it help with our general health, we know we all need to stay active as much as possible,
Yes.
but more and more research is showing that staying active is important to managing your MS and keeping that inflammation low, keeping your mobility as much as possible. And also, if you're able to do it in the class setting like this, it provides a lot of social interaction that can be really rewarding, I think.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%, Casey. One of the cool things is that independent the classes. So if you can't find a group, um, your local YMCA, we work with the YMCA a lot, and they provide some pretty significant discounts to the MS community. So it's important, like if you can't get the group, you can apply individually for assistance.
Very
Get out there
important.
and be active.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about the Transportation Assistance Grant. This has really blown up in the last few years.
Yes. So the transportation assistance has really taken off. So traditionally, we provide assistance with paratransit. So what is paratransit? Paratransit is the ride assistance with your local transportation, the city bus. And so most cities provide paratransit. And most of the time is fairly cheap. You may get $2 to $4 each way, and they'll take you within the county limits. So that's the difference with paratransit. It's within the county limits. So what happens if your doctor is outside the county limits? So here locally, we talk about Dade and Broward and Palm Beach. So that's where the new portion of the transportation program with Lyft and Uber really comes in handy. So that you know that program has just taken off like you wouldn't believe, and so happy that we could provide assistance with that.
Yeah, it's been an absolute boon to the MS community. It's so common to have to see a doctor or go to an infusion center that's in another county, or to be in an area where paratransit is not available because they only have to offer paratransit if you are within 3/4 of a mile of a bus stop. So this has been an important addition to our services.
Yeah. So I will say, so right now with Lyft and Uber, so we provide assistance to go and see your neurologist and infusions right now. So those are the services that we provide with Lyft and Uber with.
Okay, let's talk now about the support group program. Why do you think this is so beneficial?
It's important just because of the social interaction alone, to actually be in a group with others that have multiple sclerosis is so important, to just so you can be around others that are going through some of the same issues that you're going through. And the support group department is so important to us, because what happens is, they become kind of an extension of the foundation, which is really cool. So it's very important, I think, to find a good support group, and there are different types of support groups, which is cool. But find one that's good for you, and if you can't find one and you maybe have some friends and you might think you want to start one, we can help you with that as well.
Yeah, that social interaction, that having someone who understands what you're going through, who's able to say me too, is really important. Of course, support groups have been impacted by COVID. Many are currently meeting online, But even then, it's a different kind of online support when you know that you're making friends and getting support from people who are in your local community. And when things do open up, you can go out and, get a bite to eat together. You
Yeah,
can go to a meeting and have that in-person experience. So we're still working to, help people connect with support groups despite what's going on in the world right now.
that's right. That's right. Get out and find a support group. I think is super important.
And of course, our educational programs, right now we're doing them a little bit differently. We're delighted that so many of you have joined us here today. We hope that you will continue to do that. Um, but at some point in the future, we will go back to uh, our in-person programs in addition to maintaining these Zoom conferences, which have been so well received. So Derek, what do you love about the live in-person programs?
So it's Kasey, they're so awesome. So for us to be able to get out in the community, so we talk on the phone all the time, but to actually get out into the community and meet those who you serve is super important to us. And um, so we go to Atlanta, I think almost every month, or we were going to Atlanta before the whole COVID thing. And it's just super important. You see those same faces, and they're so happy to see us, and we're so happy to see them, and we build that awesome relationship. So I think that's the most important thing about us getting out in the community is they get to see us and we get to see them. And so they get to say, hey, listen, I know this guy at the foundation named Derek because I see him all the time here in Atlanta. And so that's important. That's is super important that they get to know us and we develop some sort of relationship. And I think it's super cool.
I always love meeting people who are coming to a program for the first time, and maybe they've heard of other MS organizations, but they haven't heard of MS Focus. They don't know about what we offer, and then once they find out that excitement, knowing that there are people out there who are going to help them with all of the problems they're facing, that's just the best for me. Um,
It
I,
is.
and I hope that people on this call today are going, wow, I didn't know that you offered that. Uh, that's the best. We want you to know about the services that are available to you. All right, so let's talk about healthcare assistance. How are people using this program?
So the healthcare assistance, as I was saying earlier, is really for those that do not have insurance, so that they can see their neurologist. So if you lose your insurance, you still need to go and see your neurologist. So that neurologist can make sure that all your prescriptions are filled, that you're on your treatment plan. And so with this program, we will pay for a visit and a follow-up visit for the year. And then we try to find out, why you don't have insurance to try and direct you to where you can to find some more permanent solutions for your insurance or healthcare.
And what
Um,
about dental?
yep. So that's one of the other things that this program helps with is they help with dental. So Vicky Noble, who runs that program, she works with a lot of different providers to help with dental issues. So again, you can go on our website, msfocus.org, go to get help, and you can apply right there. Or you can email us at support@msfocus, and we'll make sure that we get that application over to you.
And I'll go ahead and demonstrate that website in just a minute after we've talked through these programs. So let's now talk about emergency financial assistance. How is that beneficial to people?
Yeah, so the emergency assistance program right now has, it's just unbelievable. So you can apply for assistance, one-time assistance with rent or utilities. You can also apply for assistance with the FDA approved MS medications. So, for example, if you need help with your Copaxone, if they say, okay, if you have a copay of like maybe $100, you can apply for assistance from the foundation with our emergency assistance for help with your copays. For uh, and let me back that up. So what you would need to do, so let's say if it was with Copaxone, you would need to reach out to Share Solutions, and they will hook you up with some sort of copay agreement, and then you can apply for our EAG assistance to help with that particular copay.
So first you go through the drug company's program,
Yes,
and then you're able to, excuse me, and then you're able to apply for
yes,
additional help through the EAG.
yeah.
Okay. And is there any particular thing that people should know before applying for the emergency financial assistance?
So, I'll go back to the first thing is that know that it's a one-time assistance program. So if we have helped you previously, you couldn't apply again for that program.
If we've
But
helped you previously with that program.
with that program, with the
Right.
EAG, but
So for
uh,
example, if you've gotten a cooling vest, that doesn't disqualify you from
no, not at all.
emergency assistance.
Only dealing with the emergency assistance. So if we helped you with your rent 1 year, is that one-time assistance, but you're not just completely turned away. So what we try to do is to work with other resources that we had. So I kind of spoke a little bit about your local county resources. A really good uh, tip is the United Way 211. So they have a lot of assistance dealing with emergency assistance. So
Yeah.
we work with them a lot as well.
And even if you haven't received the grant before, depending on how much your need is and how much is available in our budget, we may direct you to some of those resources and sometimes even split the cost, correct?
Yeah, definitely correct.
So there
We
may be some homework that people need to do.
Yeah, definitely, and that's something, we don't mind helping you to do that because we want to help you to find a plan for next month. So that's one of our goals, is to make sure that we help you to find some sort of plan. How did you get there? Is your rent too much? Is it time to think about maybe trying to downsize a little bit? So these are some important questions that, we may go through together. But as long as we can help you find a more permanent solution, so you're not worried about that every single month, I think it's important.
Absolutely. All right, let's talk about the computer program. What do people need to know?
So the computer program, originally we started that program and we were helping with refurbished computers, but now we give brand new laptops. And before we said, maybe some desktops, would help, but the laptop has really dominated the program now because you can take that laptop anywhere you go. Whether you're going to the coffee shop, you can take that laptop and be mobile. If you're going out of town, you can connect to the Wi-Fi at your local hotel. So the laptop has, really just dominated the program. So it's important to be able to stay connected to your family and friends. And now we all know, due to COVID, you're probably doing most of your doctor's appointment remotely. And so it's important to be able to have a computer that you can communicate with the rest of the world with.
Yeah, it's a literal lifeline today.
It is.
And finally, let's talk briefly about the Brighter Tomorrow grant. What is your favorite Brighter Tomorrow grant story?
Um, so believe it or not, we got a request from a retired teacher for ukulele. And it sounds a little out of the box, but that's kind of what the Brighter Tomorrow Grant is. It's anything that's not covered under our normal programs. So if you have maybe an old mattress that is just completely worn out, and beds are our number one request with the Brighter Tomorrow Grant. You can apply for that with BTG. You can also apply for if your television is no good anymore. You can apply for that, or maybe some new appliances, different things like that. And so it feels really good to be able to offer that to the MS community.
And why are things like a bed or new curtains or a television, why is something like that important? Why would that be part of our MS mission?
It's important because not everybody, but some folks are on a limited income, and so that becomes something that you can't really get with your normal budget. And so to be able to toss, I mean, we've seen pictures, and Kasey, we've been actually to homes to actually film and to get rid of an old mattress that has provided you for years, but it's time to let it go. That's a really good feeling to say, hey, let's get you a new mattress, let's get you a new bed frame. That television that has the big dark circle on it, let's get you let's get you a new television. So these are things that normally you really couldn't ask for uh, in the normal scope of what we do. So to be able to make someone have a brighter tomorrow is awesome.
Right. That bit of an emotional lift, that mental well-being you get from not having to worry about those things has got to be great for your health as well.
Oh, definitely, 100%. I think that's why the whole program got started in the beginning, and I think it truly serves us well, and also serves the MS community well as well.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about how people can contact us. You mentioned our website. Um, they can
Yes.
also they can also email at support@msfocus.org.
Yep. And the telephone.
And the telephone number is 888 MS Focus. That's 888-673-6287. Right now, COVID is affecting our operations a little bit. So whereas when things were normal, you'd get a live person on the phone saying, "Hi, this is Derek. Can I help you?" Right now, you may get our voicemail, but that's okay. Leave a message and somebody will call you back. Um, so let me screen share again, and let's just go through a few of the offerings on our website. So this is our website, msfocus.org. As Derek mentioned, the Get Help section is where you can go in order to be able to directly apply for the programs that we discussed. So under Get Help, if you click Grants and Programs, you will see each of the programs that Derek and I just discussed. And when you click on any one of those programs, you'll have the opportunity to either print the application or actually apply online. So you can submit the information right there. Another piece of information that's helpful in the Get Help section, you may not be aware that we have a lending library. The lending library is exactly as it sounds. We have a collection of books and DVDs and workbooks that you can select that you would like to check out from the library. We will send whatever book you select to you with the return postage, so it costs you nothing at all. And you have a month to read that book or watch that DVD, and then you just pop it in the stamped envelope, pop it in the mail, and send it right back to us. And we have hundreds of materials on many different topics relating to MS. Right now, the program may be a little slow because we're not in the office as much as we'd like to be, but we do want you to know that resource is there and available to you. And finally, under that section, you will find support groups. And in the support groups section, you can put in your state. Let's see, I'm going to choose my state. And you can choose your city if you like, but if you just hit search, it will show you information about all of the support groups, including contact information. So at this time, we recommend that you reach out to the support group leader, contact them, and find out, are they meeting online? Are they meeting in person? What kind of social distancing protocols do they have in place? Because we know, different places around the country, some places are safer than others. A few may soon begin to meet again, but you'll want to call ahead and make sure what arrangements are taking place. You can also see what events are coming up by going to the events section of our website. That will show you, if you just click the events calendar, it will show you any health and wellness programs that are up and running, fundraisers, teleconferences like this one. You'll have the whole gamut, or you can use the filters on the side to narrow it down. So for example, here you can see our upcoming teleconference on September 10th with Dan and Jennifer Digman on keeping the spark alive in MS relationships. You can look through and see any of our upcoming programs that are on our schedule. Also, I want to make you aware of the Get Educated section of our website. Here you can request free educational materials. You can read common questions. You can find out about symptoms, learn more about treatment options. But particularly, I wanted to show you the educational materials. You can choose from booklets, brochures, and fact sheets on a variety of topics. We'll look at booklets. It gives a brief description of each. You can come down to the form at the bottom and select the ones that you want, and then enter your contact information, and we will send those directly to you free of charge. Also, let me scroll back up to the top here under publications. This is particularly helpful if you'd like to subscribe to our magazine, our newsletter, or any of our e-newsletters. You can subscribe here. I particularly want to mention the MS Focus on Programs, which is an e-newsletter. You only have to click MS Focus on Programs, scroll down and enter your email address and state. And if you sign up for that newsletter, then once a week you'll get an email that will provide you information on each and every one of our upcoming teleconferences, so you won't miss out on a single educational program. Of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't point out the donate section of our website. It's not only an opportunity for those of you who are able to give back, but you can also learn about things like planned giving, where, for example, if you had an insurance policy, you could make MS Focus a beneficiary. There's also information on how you can, if you're looking for certain products related to MS, how you can buy from organizations that partner with us. And up here at the top, you'll see the magazine and radio buttons. We do have two other related websites, the MS Focus magazine website and the MS Focus radio website. MS Focus radio is an online streaming radio station that you can stream directly from the site, or you can download one of the free apps on the Apple Store or the Google Store, or you can just listen live directly from your computer. And let's see, the toolbar here is blocking my view. Let me go back to the website. The magazine site, hopefully you all subscribe to our magazine. If you don't, subscriptions are free. You can hit the subscribe button right here on msfocusmagazine.org to get signed up. You can read exclusive content from our guest authors with MS. We have 3 regular columnists who share their experiences and their knowledge of living with the disease. We have a wide variety of articles that come from the magazine, or you can go to the issue archive where you can read any previous issue going back many, many, many years. So there's a whole host of information available there at your fingertips. So with that, now I'd like to open it up to your questions. So if you have a question, you can type it in the chat. If you are using a mobile device, you just touch your screen and a menu will come up. There's a button that says chat with a little chat bubble. You can just type your question in there. Or you can also use the raise hand feature. If you are on the mobile app, that's under the more menu, the ... menu, you can click raise hand. Or if you are on a computer, that's under the participants menu. You click raise hand down at the bottom and we will bring you on the line to ask your question live. So we do have a few questions in chat. So Derek, hopefully you'll be able to help me out with these. We have a couple of questions about cooling. So it says, Barbara asks, if you applied this year, when will the vest arrive?
If you applied this year, you should have been responded to by now. If you did not receive a cooling vest this year, we ask that you please apply again next year, because the cooling program, it did close out June 1st. And we have provided some since then, but I think we're now at the end of that program right now. So we ask that you please definitely apply again next year. And Barbara, we do have some cooling neck wraps that we can send to you. So if you email me directly at support@msfocus.org, I'll make sure that I get a cooling neck wrap over to you.
That was support@msfocus.org.
Yes.
All right. And Susan asks, I received a vest over 5 years ago. Some of the ice packs are thin now. Do you help to replace ice packs?
So yes, we do. So if you would, you can email us directly at support@msfocus. Vicky is the person that is in charge of that program, and I'll get that right over to her so we can help you replace those.
Okay. And Christina asks, has the health and wellness program been impacted by COVID-19? And if so, how?
I think every single program has been impacted by COVID-19. Right now, we're working remotely, so things are just a little bit slower, but we are definitely responding back to everyone. So the answer is yes. The program has been affected, but we are still going strong. So if you have any questions, Alma Henry is in charge of that program. And so she can get back with you to help you with any questions in regards to that.
Yeah. And I think, as to how programs have been affected, a lot of that really depends on where you are. We know that the situation with COVID is different in every city. In some places, life is cautiously beginning to resume, and in other places, we're still very much self-quarantining and self-isolating. So just like everything we do, it's all related to your individual circumstances. All right. And Jackie asks, what do I need to do for the speech recognition software?
With the speech recognition software, the drag and dictate is what we use. So I don't know if you have that already. If you're looking for assistance, you can apply with our assistive technology program. So we can send the application over to you. What we would need to know is what type of program are you using? Are you using Windows 7, Windows 10? Are you on a PC or are you on a Mac? So those are the things that we need to know to make sure we get the correct software and headphones for you.
Okay. That's all the questions that we have in the chat at the moment. So Derek, any final thoughts for our listeners?
So glad that that we were able to do this Zoom call to talk about programs and services. If you have any questions, you can even email me directly. It's Derrick, DERRICK, at msfocus.org, or feel free to drop that email over on our support account. Just happy that we're able to continue providing these services to the MS community. So that's my
Absolutely.
little final plug.
And our staff has done an amazing job in continuing to offer these services despite the fact that we're not in the office, which I keep saying, but Derek and I are in the office today. Um, yeah, it's we came to make sure we would have the internet connectivity. It's the first day of school here in our county, and a lot of Zoom services went down, internet services went down. So we came in to make sure that we would be here for you. We are, for the most part, working from home, but our staff has been amazing in making sure that everybody is getting the services they need as quickly as possible. So don't hesitate to reach out. Again, you can call us at 888-MS-FOCUS. You can visit us at msfocus.org, or you can email support@msfocus.org. So thank you all very much for joining us. If you missed any part of this teleconference, it will be, it has been recorded. It will be posted on our YouTube channel within 1 to 2 weeks. So you can watch it again. You can share it with your support group members. And we hope that you will continue to join us at future educational programs. We hope to see you again. Thank you all very much for joining us today.